This is Kalen Caron Vasquez from DivingDragonGames.com and YourCardSleeves.com, and I just wanted to take a moment to make a quick announcement. Now, I want to start this off by saying this is geared more towards my Kickstarter backers, specifically those of which who have gotten a few of the different stretch goal items. But if you want to keep watching, feel free to do so, and you'll most likely see a few things you'll like. Now, those of you who backed the Kickstarter project know that I'm doing more than just making custom card sleeves. I offered several different stretch goals, and in my last update on Kickstarter, I mentioned how I was having, well, a few problems finding some of my materials. Specifically, the plastic needed to make the custom deck boxes and the microfiber cleaning cloth style material used to make the custom dice bags. Well, guess who just found all of that? Not only did I find sources for all of the materials that I need to make those items, I have taken a little bit of time to do some last minute prototyping. Now, let me just get this out of the way. If you've seen some of my older videos, you'll probably be familiar with this little guy right here. He is one of my original prototypes for the deck boxes. I just made a small one meant to hold a Geek Fight deck box, and though the print turned out great, it's got a few issues. Now, this was first phase, first and foremost, if you look at this right here, I made this deck box out of polycarbonate or Lexan, and it's in no way, shape, or form structurally similar to the polyethylene that I need. So there's going to definitely be some issues. I also initially designed this with flat shipping in mind, where you would put it together using lock tabs and fold it up, lock it together, and you're done. Yeah, I'm abandoning that method altogether. It proved to be more trouble than it's worth. And Lexan, one thing I learned is that in order to bend the plastic, you're going to need to score it. Lexan doesn't like that. In fact, I am pretty sure this score line right here will snap any moment now, so I'm just going to put this aside. Now, I have indeed found a source for the polyethylene plastic that I need and the exact thickness that I need, but it will take some time to get my hands on it. In the meantime, I did find a cheap source for some polypropylene. Now, keep in mind that it is a different plastic than what I need, but structurally speaking, it allows me to make a pretty close facsimile to the final product. The only issues being that it's chemically different, which means my printing methods, well, they don't adhere as well as they would to a polyethylene box. That disclaimer aside, here is my latest prototype. Not bad. Now, this is sized, I believe, for... actually, no, I don't believe. It is sized for a 75 count deck, or I should say deck plus additional cards if you're a competitive player. And I really like how it turned out. Now, when I gave that disclaimer, I mainly meant because if you look down here, or glaringly right here, the printing methods that I use for the polyethylene do not adhere well to polypropylene. They adhere well enough for me to just get a nice little structural test done. And I've changed from the lock tab method to a heat seal method, which is similar to what's done by a lot of the bigger brands, which is what you see down here. Turns out that this plastic is also 1/2 the thickness of the polyethylene I'm going to be using. So when I do the heat weld on the bottom there, you're not going to see any transfer really. It doesn't have to go through as much material, which means the heat won't transfer through as much material, and during the course of making this prototype, I learned a few techniques to keep this from happening at all. Oh, and of course I didn't have the proper tools, so my heat sealer was just a bodged together contraption, which, though it got the job done, was not pretty. So yeah, other than that though, I mean, there's good coverage on the design. I do have to widen things up a little bit and lengthen this a little bit. It's a prototype. I meant to get all the things hammered out. But other than that, I'd say we're looking good. I give myself 1 to 2 more tests before I have everything down pat, all the sizing done. I am actually trying a plastic snap, as you can see here, as a closure as opposed to the industry standard Velcro. Anyone who's used a deck box of that nature knows that the Velcro just peels right off after time. And the reason being is that, well, polyethylene is chemically inert. It's the problem that I've been dealing with this whole time on the card sleeves. It is paint and adhesive proof, which is why you get all of your images coming off of the deck boxes and the adhesive on the Velcro sloughing off. There's really nothing you can do about that. So, well, at least for the adhesives, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve to make the prints stay on much longer. Same way I make the sleeves. But those are trade secrets. I'm not telling you anything. Now, when it comes to the closures, I've got these snaps. I'm giving these a bit of a run. They are extremely hard to close due to the extreme flexibility of this polypropylene. I actually need to get something in there to close it, so we'll be seeing if I actually stick with the snaps. A full deck box will snap no problem. A polyethylene deck box, which is twice the thickness, will most likely snap no problem. We'll find out. Yeah. Also, don't worry about the bright white snaps. I have found a source for clear snaps, which don't obstruct the artwork that much. So if I do stay with the snaps, I will be going clear. I'm sad. But yeah, other than that though, the design that I've gone with, it's actually worked out quite well. No, a little deck divider that I'm tinkering around with. I If I like how these turn out, I will include one of these with each and every order. Well, the Kickstarter orders, I will see how much effort it takes to actually chalk these out, and if it seems to be easy enough when I get the die cutter rolling, I'll include one of these with each and every deck box. So we'll see. Yeah. Hooray for polypropylene and for using a super thin layer of clear coat. Yeah, that's what I get for making a prototype. Now, I'll be laying the clear coat on thick enough to protect your deck boxes. Just like with the card sleeves, the clear coat I use is made for outdoor signage, so it'll be proving itself to be extremely hard to take off. I think I've rambled enough about the deck boxes. This is what we've got so far. Nice design, turned out great. The welds are very sturdy, though I need to work on my technique a wee bit. But I've come a long way from this little guy to this monstrosity right here. Like I said, this is designed for 75 cards, and I will also be releasing 100 card variants. So there's that. And just to touch on the topic of the dice bags really quickly, found the material. These are printed with what's called sublimation, which means it's not an iron-on transfer. The images are actually dyed into the fabric, so these will run through the washer, no problem. They're also printed on microfiber cleaning cloth grade fabric, so you can clean your glasses and electronics with them. And I'll admit I am cheating right now because this is one that I had made up a few years ago from another printing company. But don't expect to get them cheaply that way because minimum order is 200 with one design. I can make them on the fly, one at a time. I believe right now my asking price is $10. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I will also be putting higher quality string in, doing better quality ending on the little holes there. I'm doing a nice buttonhole stitch. But yeah, microfiber, washable dice bags with your images on them. I like them. But I think I've rambled long enough. Just wanted to do a quick update, let everyone know that I have officially found everything I need to make all of the different stretch goal items. From dice bags to deck boxes, life counters, gaming tokens. I think I'm forgetting quite a few different custom items that I'm going to be offering. Um, but I think, like I said, I've rambled enough. This is Kalen Caron Vasquez from DivingDragonGames.com and YourCardSleeves.com, signing off.